For much more on Sarah Palin's book, visit mamagrizzlyradio.com. After the despicable attacks on Paris, Sarah Palin tried to comfort those grieving through God's Word. Palin writing on Facebook, prayers for Paris at this time of unprecedented attacks following Philippians 4:7, ask for the peace of God, which transcends all our understanding. This past week, the governor met with Donald Trump. If Barack Obama gives Chris Matthews and friends a tingling feeling up their legs, this get-together must have given liberals a whole nother sensation. The dynamic duo of Palin and Trump sat down in New York City. Palin posted some exclusive pictures on social media of their meeting. Meantime, after this past week's GOP presidential debate, Mama Grizzly Radio conducted a poll on who won. And according to our listeners, it was Mr. Trump in a landslide. To see any of the governor's posts in their entirety, visit Sarah Palin's Facebook page, follow her on Twitter at Sarah Palin USA, and check out sarahpac.com. Now, the Palin Update with Kevin Scholla presents Liberty and Legacy. Here's Tamara Colbert.
The single biggest threat facing the West today is the growing atrophy in patriotic muscle. France now, with its borders closed and a curfew in Paris, the first time since the Nazis had taken over the country in 1944. And there is really no difference that I can see or distinction between Nazi fascists and Muslim fascists, each using fear, intimidation, and murder in a falsely religious rhetoric that has escalated to fanatical and fervent heights among their brainwashed followers. Sadly, since World War II ended, the scourge of radical fascism and tyranny was kept in check by millions of the greatest generation who engaged in the combat to fight for freedom. As the greatest generation's flame is quietly being extinguished by time and frailty, so is the light of liberty. And that precious understanding of what it means to have blood spilled at liberty's tree. We have generations now that are built on a bedrock of entitlement and privilege instead of hard work and hard knocks. My grandparents fully understood what sacrifice was during World War II, what sacrifice was to rebuild our nation to new heights in technology and economics and neighborliness and values. I'm not even sure I really understand it, although I'm not so far removed that I can't meet a World War II veteran this week who actually put his eyes on the flag that was raised on Iwo Jima. Wow, what a privilege during Veterans Week to meet that incredible hero. Now we have our young people who are looking at radical socialists as their heroes. These pathetic, weak, tepid tumors like Obama and these college professors who think that this socialist rebellion of the 60s now being spearheaded today by the White House and every level of these progressives in American government. I can't help but wonder why they're so angry when they got to witness their parents' heroism and sacrifice and love for something above themselves. They're angry. They were angry either because they lost relatives, brothers, neighbors, dads, uncles during World War II, or they're angry that they didn't want to feel the duty of responsibility to uphold the light and sacrifice of their parents following World War II. These hack liberals, and it's taking all my self-control to not use other words to fully describe them. They must sit back in their faculty lounges like at the University of Missouri, high-fiving each other. How much they have put evil and division and disunity in the hearts of America's young people. Well, guess what? Those young people, they are going to fully understand how they were misled and misused and misguided by college professors who were about themselves instead of about the betterment of America and the betterment of the education for our young people. And they will one day pay the price for that. Trust me, their scam is coming to an end rather quickly. Along with that, at the University of Missouri. And yes, folks, it is a scam. Do your homework, do your research, because the young man tied to the, quote, feces swastika propaganda, no one ever saw that. It's been nothing but rumor. No one saw it. No one really heard anything other than it coming from someone else in a vicious game of telephone tag that we used to play when we were little. That young man has been at the University of Missouri for more than 8 years on taxpayer-funded student loans, while his dad, being a millionaire, could have paid for that. This is the BS going on around us, and these college professors and these liberal progressives, these community organizers who are tied to the fascism of what the Nazis and what the Muslims and what ISIS are behind. These 50 years of liberal education haven't taught our children to think for themselves or question how things work or explore new solutions or new ways of doing things, or even being able to understand and champion a free market society where our freedom grows along with our dreams. No, liberal education has brought more racism, more lies, more deceit, and a lack of quality and a complete degradation of our societal values under the entitlement facade. Thank you, President Obama. Thank you to all of you and your ilk who sit on your college campuses, who drink your beverages, your wine, thinking that you've got America under your thumb. Guess what? Your days are numbered. That's why you are desperately grasping for these minds. You are desperately grasping to control the American people, the American way of life, and the American government. But I love it because 2016 is going to be our reawakening. I pray that it is a turning point for all of us. As we come from celebrating Veterans Day this week, I ask for you to pray for the people of France. I ask for you to pray and think about the loved ones that were lost and what France has lost in their love of liberty, in their national pride, and their national affinity to patriotism and liberty. And I ask for the French people to be able to re-embrace this zest and love for such a noble ideal such as liberty. Let's stand with France. Let's stand with our leaders in America today who want to turn this country around and who are willing to pull up their bootstraps and get their sleeves up and their hands dirty to make our young people better, to help each other, and to reignite the value system in America that we love. We will not let fascism, we will not let Muslim fascism or ISIS or any other dark evil cause take away what we love. But we must stand today. I want to know what you think. You can tweet me this week at Tamara Colbert, hashtag Mama Grizzly Radio. Have a great week, and may God bless France, and may God bless the United States of America.
Tamara Colbert in Texas. Tune in for more Liberty and Legacy next week. And to learn about Convention of States, head to conventionofstates.com. Now our weekly commentary, Steel Resolve. Here's Sarah Steelman.
Thanks, Kevin. Carly Fiorina is a woman of steel. She has more testosterone than most men I know. She withstands sexist remarks without responding in a malicious, bitter, or obnoxious way. She graciously gut-punched Donald Trump with his nasty comments about her face. The women on The View made awful, ugly, unfunny comments about Carly, and it didn't faze her. She also gets more subtle comments from people like Bill O'Reilly, telling her she's not going to win, but maybe she can be Secretary of the Treasury. He doesn't say that to any of the other candidates. She gets asked if she's running for president to be vice president, but no other candidates get asked that question. Carly is the epitome of a smart, strong, feminine woman who isn't afraid of anything. Kudos to Carly Fiorina, and Carly, don't let them get you down. This is Sarah Steelman from Mama Grizzly Radio.
Tune in again next week for another segment of Steel Resolve right here on the Palin Update. The Palin Update, including Liberty and Legacy and Steel Resolve, is on demand and available for download. So just head to mamagrizzlyradio.com, pick the show you want to hear, and you can listen anywhere, anytime. Well, that'll just about do it for this edition of the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. Visit mamagrizzlyradio.com for continuing coverage of Governor Palin. Also like Mama Grizzly Radio on Facebook, and follow along on Twitter at Mama Grizz Radio, at Kevin Scholla, at Tamara Colbert, and at Sarah_Steelman. And I'm doing some writing for Breitbart News. Go to Breitbart.com and search Kevin Scholla. I want to thank Sarah Steelman, Tamara Colbert, and everyone here at Mama Grizzly Radio. Thanks to Governor Sarah Palin. And thank you for listening today. A special thanks to our sponsor, Narrowgate Security Agency. Visit narrowgate.com. The Palin Update is produced by Lena Anderson, the Andy L. Kramer, and Lori Ann Lewis. Please be sure to join us again next time for another edition of the Palin Update right here on Mama Grizzly Radio. I'm Kevin Scholla. Have a pleasant day.